Hey guys, Rick over at DV Laser Works, and I'm going to do up a video. I was asked to in one of my groups about removing excess. And as you can tell, even like right here, these supports got lifted up against, away from the plate, but didn't matter to me because all it was supports. Now, supports, what is a support? Support is something that holds some, or you're able to engrave over to be able to continue on with the shape. So the shape pretty much is the skull, and whenever it's done up, as you can see, a lot of this overhang right here, it doesn't have any supports, including up in this jaw area. Now, how do I do that? Well, there's multiples of tools. You can get them over at Harbor Freight or what have you, and they look like this. Some of them are double-ended. They're pretty much dental tools, for lack of better terms. The one thing I have found is some of them aren't the greatest in the world. They bend easily, and even still, you know, Phillips head screwdriver or even a small flathead will work. But what we're going to be doing in the next section is we're going to be removing this, and I'm going to be doing it facing down on the ground. That way you can see overhead. You're not looking at my bearded face, but this is usually a good couple of minute job to get everything detached and smoothed over. So let's go to it. All right, basically you just find kind of loose stuff and you just kind of pull on it a little bit. Sometimes you get right in this area right here, and I haven't even taken a tool to it. And, you know, just kind of pull it about. Sometimes you don't get it all off in one piece. You get some stragglers and all that. No big whoop. Believe it or not, this is pretty durable material. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to get under here, kind of see if we can separate. It's almost like, shucking a clam in a sort. And you're just going through, and all you're doing is lifting and separating a lot of this. You could even, you know, pull from right here, just kind of peel it back a little bit to kind of detach it. One of the things that I have noticed is that you tend to as you can see, I'm already getting this stuff. You'll get some sharp areas, and depending on the type of material it is, you know, you may have some areas where it gets kind of jaggedy, and probably you'll be able to sand it down a little bit. I was kind of hoping that this one would be somewhat easy to, there we go. See, pretty much one large chunk. Wasn't as happy as the last one I did. But you can see right along here, right along the jawline, it's a little bit jaggedy. but you could probably either take like a lighter or a heat gun and just kind of smooth this down. Kind of like going to the dentist. You get some stuff in the teeth area. This one wasn't too bad. I didn't get too big of chunks. I'll probably run a lighter on it. But overall, that's what it takes. So this is it. You know, just a couple of minutes. You don't have to get too worried about doing, hurting the main structure. This is actually pretty solid. I mean, these things are, I'm not going to say indestructible, but when you go to peel them apart, the only time that you get into issues that I've noticed is when you're getting into stuff like this right here. We're trying to get inside the areas, and some of the pieces do break off. There is a support. It's a water soluble support that it's mostly if you have multiple heads, stuff like that. That basically just dip it in water, leave it in there, and it dissolves at that point in time. But yeah, it's fairly easy and it's not that bad. Like I said, these tools right here, you can go to any hobby store and pick them up, or go to a flea market. They're not that expensive. Like I said, some of them are pretty cheap and they bend rather easily. But even going with a pair of pliers used for rings to squish them closed or open them, something like that. A pair of needle nose pliers will work. Just something that you're able to get in there and grab stuff. Other than that, it's fairly easy to get all of this material off. But yeah, that's pretty much everything right here. I will be working on my film editing techniques and taking video. It's a real pain when you're the only one that's doing it. But yeah, just don't be afraid about it, especially on something like that. Relatively, even right in this area, it's fairly smooth. There's some bumps in there, but it's not that bad. Even with the way that the infill was on here, you can see a lot of patterning here, almost like a Damascus raindrop. And yeah, it's pretty good stuff. Hopefully I'll be able to put out more content, and I hope you got some use out of this. I know it was kind of mundane. Yeah, take off supports. But it is one of those things that when you're in 3D modeling or using a 3D printer, you're going to come up against. Even this little ashtray right here, all this bottom had support underneath it, including this part right here. So as you can see, that's quite a bit of area for support. Now, what does that do for, what does the support do as far as your overall print job, and especially time and material waste? Well, I actually have a bin that I'm saving all this excess right here, so I can go ahead and recycle it. It's got PETG, it's got PLA, and I'll just, whatever they want to do with it, they can do with it. But y'all have a good day, good rest of your day. If you like what I'm putting out, give me a like and a follow. I'm trying to get my name out there, and this content, I'm learning it as I'm doing it. So it's just one of those things of trying to get everything done up, and I'm just a one-man show trying to get stuff done up. All this stuff behind me, that's jobs that I've got coming in, getting ready to get started on. Those are some cases that I'll be doing, and hopefully I'll be able to do some video on that. But you all have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one, which may be tomorrow, maybe next week. You all have a good one, and I'll talk to you later.